Alrighty, my darlings. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. We have our cup of coffee. Yes, we do. And there's a handful of things to touch on, like, that wrestling chick going after the college that churns out all the lawyers, because that's going to work out great for that smelly administration. But real quick, I did want to talk about that other filing that was made with the ICC, Mr. Iverson. Okay, someone mentioned that, and thank you for pointing that out. I forgot even which platform it was. I'm so bad at keeping track of these. However, there was a complaint filed against Prophet Sundown and all of his buddies, okay, Blondie, etc., for their overreach of trying to sanction the ICC. Remember when they did that way back in the beginning? That was one of the early things they did, which is the equivalent of a child saying, "Mommy, you're grounded," okay? Like, it's really nothing. It's them trying to show that they have big brass cojones, but no. All right. So our representative to there filed a complaint saying, A, this is overreach, and B, it's keeping me from doing my job. So yeah, that's another interesting little gunpowder line that's going to go right back to that shit show. Throw that in with what's already going on with the UN and the ICC regarding El Salvador and Venezuela, et cetera, et cetera. So more and more stink lines are headed back this way, but don't get comfortable. All right. Is there a little bit of hope in international pressure? Yes. But remember, they can't do much outside of issuing things, warrants, or what have you. So in terms of someone physically doing something, boots on the ground still have to kick it off. And then we can worry about, international cavalry coming in to help. But we got to start. We got to start it. Okay. So yeah, speaking of starting it, you remember how they started this with Harvard, right? Their letter that they sent. And then they did that narcissistic thing where they were like, oh, actually, Harvard should have known that we didn't meet it. Like my narc friend tried to do that to me when he was defending Mustache Man. And I held it against him later. And he was like, oh, yeah, that was supposed to be a joke. I'm like, no, you were very passionately defending Mustache Man and telling me how he just wanted to protect Germany. It wasn't a joke. Don't try to take it back now that I called you out. Again, very brown Filipino Asian now identifies as a you-know-what man just because it helps him weather the storm. We're not going there. Okay, anyway, so... They tried to say that it was a mistake, but they're still trying to take the tax-exempt status. She's over here like, you can't have grants. Just be a private school if you're not going to listen to us. And I just think it's funny that the send the power back to the states people have taken off their masks and are now just saying what we all knew, which is obey, obey. Everybody needs to obey. The freedom to obey me. That's what it's all about. That's what it's always about. We tried to tell you. All right, they're hitting it with the girls too. You're seeing the bring back modesty everywhere. And it's like, bitch, you can be as modest as you want to be. You're not talking about bringing back modesty for yourself. You want to control what everyone else is wearing. Why? Because your men suck. Okay? In that culture, and I grew up in it, they have no accountability. All right? If you're an attractive woman, that's your fault. Okay? Men are attracted to you. You better fucking run around with a pillowcase over your whole body because they can't be expected to focus when you're sitting over there being attractive. Okay? And these are the alphas, the rulers of everything, these non-emotional creatures that are in control of themselves and are the only ones who can lead us, but they can be fully distracted by a beautiful shoulder, and it's your fault that they don't know how to control themselves. We keep trying to tell y'all, those of us who grew up in this. Those of us who grew up in this. So, okay, you've seen that in Newark. At this point, they're just suggesting that you don't even fly through there if you can help it. There's such a shortage in the towers that they're losing contact with planes. And again, let's remind you that this didn't happen under any other administration. This is happening under this one after they fired a bunch of people for DEI. Speaking of firing people for no reason, Unky Drunky Pete, who's still in charge of the DOD because failing works when you bring corporate into government. Again, this is all that white excellence. White excellence. See how excellent? Planes falling, things failing, and instead of fixing it, they just go, it's Dem's fault. It's Biden. It's Biden. More white excellence, okay? Shoving the blame while also proclaiming you're amazing at everything while erasing the history of everyone else's accomplishments because you don't really have shit, okay? Disease and destruction, literally. So he is pulling generals and admirals because why should there be people in the military that know more than him? Like, why should there be career military people earning their way up to these high? He wants to get rid of like 20% of those and bring in more boots on the ground, more people who don't understand yet so that they can indoctrinate them to be loyal to Prophet Sundown and not, the Constitution or the country. So that's what they're working on, continuing to flip the military into a loyalist force. And, we're not paying too much attention to that either. But on the good note, boots on the ground for Team Us has been going after the payment processors for that fundraiser we've all been talking about, because yet again, certain people have to lead the charge on how to fight back on certain things, and certain other people need to take a little more notes and listen to us when we keep saying canaries in the mine, tweet, 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 you guys, tweet, 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 tweet. How do you not see it? How do you not see it? Like, how do you not smell it? How can you not smell the sulfur in egg? How can you not smell it?